am so excited today because today is my first episode in my new studio. We outgrew our space, so we had to move into a bigger space. And my studio kind of looks the same as it did before, but it feels very different. I feel very like legit now. I feel kind of super professional because I'm in like a studio. So, of course, episode 1 of Wife the Party was Bert. Episode 2 was Sandy and Cathy. So I had Sandy and Cathy back. And we had some bubbly and we talked some shit and it was awesome. It's just a natural, free-flowing conversation like we would have if we were in one of our living room. So I don't know. I love these two ladies. I'm so grateful for both of them. I'm grateful for Jocelyn and Lynn and Jeannie and Margaret and all my amazing friends that come back, and Kirsten, time and time again, and talk about whatever's going on or a book club or whatever topic I decide. I'm just so grateful to have been doing this for 5 years and I just wanted to celebrate with two people who were here from the very beginning, episode 2, and it was really nice. So I hope you enjoy my conversation with Sandy and Cathy. I always enjoy my conversations with Sandy and Cathy. We had a great time, and I hope you have a great time too. Thank you for all your emails, for all your comments. Thank you for the positivity. I know so many people are like, I don't ever read the comments because they're so negative. I read my comments, and they're pretty positive. Every once in a while, there's a negative one, but such is life. I don't know. I'm just so grateful to have this as a passion project, to enjoy talking to people, and to hope that inspires other people in the world to grow and learn and be curious and be a better person. So thanks for coming back every week for 5 years. Holy cow. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy this episode with Sandy and Cathy. Yeah, I have this awesome Black Panther statue that goes right there.
I texted Christine this morning and said, wait a minute, what is the color of the new studio? So that Sandy and I were debating what pot to use. And she's like, definitely go with the panther. I was like, okay.
What panther?
And then she's like, no, the studio is the same wallpaper as before. I was like, got it. I totally understand the theme. Now.
Paula did that. I would never have bought a pink rug.
Oh, yeah. This looks nice.
Great,
I like it.
It does, right?
Yeah.
She did that. She bought this. The rest of it came over from my studio.
Rug.
And then I picked up. I mean, it truly was. We should talk about this when we're recording. Yeah. Oh, we're recording. So pull your mics up.
Oh.
So this, I can't wait to have Paula on the podcast because I feel like we share a brain. Like, but she's good at opposite things that I'm good at also. Like,
is this okay?
Austin's going to tell me.
Just make yourself comfortable. Are you going to sit up like that?
I know, right? I was like, wait a minute.
Like, get comfortable and then put it where you want it.
Okay.
That you're comfortable. You can put your feet on the table. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
You can take your shoes off. You can do whatever you want.
Those are cute shoes.
They are cute.
Right? Aren't they fun?
Oh, are those? I haven't.
It's the same brand.
They're awesome.
Yeah. And
Can
then
they
but
comfy?
now with the heels, yeah, they're really comfy.
They're cute.
They're very comfy.
You know that.
Where'd you get them?
At that store on Ventura. It's called The Habit, or like, you know, right next to McConnell, the ice cream shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I had a big 50% sale.
Nice.
I went in there. I bought nothing but nothing sale. Nothing sale.
I'm going to close the door.
It was actually, they have some boots. They're really cute. They didn't have my size.
Do they have like, oh yeah, I was like, do they have like extended sizes?
Yeah.
It's the problem with like,
Oh my God.
What do you mean extended sizes of shoes?
Like a lot of boutiques like that don't carry, right? I have a 10, right? A lot of those boutiques don't sell a lot of shoes, so they don't carry 10s. So I can never buy shoes. Like at Jenny's, she never has my size.
And they call those extended sizes?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I've never heard that before.
No.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for Halston?
No, we're going.
Where's Halston though?
He's in his control room.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why we have the Charlie.
I see.
So he
Got
can
it.
talk to us,
I'm
right?
right here,
Hi,
ladies.
Halston. I was missing you.
I miss you too, Sandy.
This is too high tech.
I know. Well, the thing is, I was like, I don't want him, not that I don't want him in the room, but I don't want him in the room because I want it to feel like a hang. And where it was in the first podcast studio, he was behind us. So you'd kind of forget he was there.
Yeah.
And it's harder for you to forget.
So he's like
here.
peeping Tom.
So he's like peeping Tom now.
like not peeping,
just
but
like
he's hearing
listening,
Tom.
Tom.
Like,
Yeah, what you don't
listening.
know, you don't know. And then he
Yeah.
can come in and because I always have questions and
Just wait till Sandy jumps for the first time.
I know, right? What is that?
No, I know he's here now.
I think it's kind of cool that he's the man in the box.
It's hysterical.
Wow, this is beautiful, Leanne.
You did such a good
Love
job. It looks
Thank
great.
you.
All of it looked really, really good.
Thank you. It has been a whirlwind. We closed on this house October 7th, maybe, or 9th. And so I've been really busting my ass to not only design it with Paula, but execute everything we kept coming up with. And then in Bert's studio, there's 3 studios in one room. And he kept not liking like placement of things. So we'd get something not completely done, but I'd say 80% done. And then you go, I don't like it there. And we'd have to just start over. So that awesome wallpaper with the bears on it was supposed to be the 2 bears set. And he didn't like it. So we had to shift it. And it's just been a constant pivot in his room. My room, I always was, I'm just going to redo what I already did. And just make it a little more.
Did you guys plan the ceiling? That's really cool.
The ceiling is soundproofing.
Oh, I love
So
it.
I didn't want to I wanted my wallpaper. I was really adamant on having my wallpaper, and you can't soundproof, or we couldn't find a product that we could put the wallpaper on and then attach it to the wall. So I was like, well, let's try the ceiling. And if we still need soundproofing, then I can soundproof the opposite wall that no one can see. Because I love my wallpaper, and I just didn't want to give up on my wallpaper. Bert's, all the walls in Bert's is all soundproofing.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, all that dark wood is all a soundproofing material. So it's a felt backed wood strip.
And so this is felt too?
That is not felt; it's foam.
Foam. Oh, okay.
It looks like
great.
wood, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It was actually really inexpensive, and I bought it at Wayfair. That's the thing about
good. Oh,
design. Yeah,
crazy.
The thing about design is
they carried
you
stuff
have
like
to. They do. They carry all kinds of shit Wayfair like you wouldn't believe. But with design, you just have to kind of know what you like. And then you can find it cheap if you just spend enough time looking for it. Obviously, you can spend a lot of money on soundproofing, but I didn't want to. I'm too cheap. And you spend the money on the stuff that matters, right? That doesn't really matter. No one's going to touch it or feel it or sit on
looks
it or
good,
handle it. As long as it does the job, I don't need to pay $1 million for that. Bert's soundproofing was a little more expensive because it's on set. We wanted it to look a certain way, but Paula was a godsend because I feel like she's going to come on in a couple weeks and talk about this whole process. But I felt like she either read my mind or we had the same thought at the same time. And she would just go, well, here's 5 options for that one vision. And I'd go, this one. And she'd just get it. So it was a really great creative working relationship. She's good at the little stuff, like this little decorative. I'm not good at that. I don't do the bric-a-brac shit. But she does. Like in Bert's studio, there's so much of his stuff that looks so good. I would never have been able to do that.
It does look really good. There's a lot of stuff on those walls that looks great.
It does.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
she
very him.
really brought to it.
Yeah.
Because I like the broad picture. I can see the like men's cigar lounge lodge looking dark wood, smoky, masculine, earth tones, green. You know, I saw all that and didn't really design it, but figured it all out. And then Paula just made it look really good. So it was really fun, but it was a lot of work. I'm exhausted. And I still have the kitchen.
It's been like 4 months. If you only closed in October.
Yeah.
It's
October 7th.
That's a huge turnaround.
And in the middle of that, we produced a special and we had Christmas,
Holidays.
had a fabulous New Year's Eve party,
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, Bert's birthday,
Oh, yeah.
50th birthday. Yeah, a lot going on. It was crazy 4 months. I'm really proud of it. Thanks, guys.
No, it
Should
This
be.
is great.
Yeah. I know.
Thanks for being my
Congrats.
first podcast in my new studio. Cheers.
I know. Cheers, right?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Cheers.
Very excited for you. Thank you for
Cheers. Cheers. How long? This
I
is
know.
the
And cheers
fifth
for
year?
5 years.
5 years,
What
yeah.
the hell is that?
We
all
can cheers
about?
again for 5 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Fine.
No, that can't be 5 years.
It is.
That is crazy.
Isn't it? Do you like it?
This is yummy.
Isn't that really
Yeah,
good?
really yummy.
Oh gosh, I said I'm not gonna drink.
I know Sandy doesn't drink anymore.
Oh, you don't drink anymore?
Not during the day.
Oh, sorry.
And on Mondays.
You're welcome for throwing you off the wagon.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is
They
really
said
good.
the same thing yesterday too. By the way,
Yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday.
It's Super Bowl. It
I know,
doesn't
but she
count.
wasn't drinking then either.
And it was, it was past 5 o'clock. I started.
It was.
No, actually,
It was not.
4, 3.
Okay,
Whatever.
2:30,
It's
but whatever.
fine.
2:30,
Whatever.
same thing.
30 minutes. It was
Same
close
thing.
to
But
5.
this is yummy.
Isn't it good?
It is really yummy.
Really yummy.
It is good. I don't know. I can never, it's Italian, so I can't pronounce the name because I'm not good at that stuff, but it's yummy.
I'll need to take a picture so you can remember. So
Yeah.
I can remember. Like I'll never remember
Yeah.
either.
It's not
Yeah.
Prosecco, right?
No. It's sparkling
yummy.
wine.
Wine
Yeah.
is so good.
And it's from Italy. And the guy gave it to me as a gift, and then I didn't get any of it. So I rebought it for myself. So I served it and other people drank it all. So
the gift that keeps on giving.
it is for sure.
So 5 years?
5 years.
I know that is crazy
No.
to me.
And it started on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started on.
And
Bert was my first guest.
in Bert's podcast studio.
Bert's podcast studio with Halston.
No, that man cave, right? It
Yep.
wasn't even a podcast studio, really.
And then the
I guess he
second-
did stuff in there, right?
Well, it's just a man cave, and then he started
Yeah.
recording.
I thought we were your first guest.
I think Bert was my very first. I don't know, Halston, who was my first guest?
Bert Kreischer.
I thought so. Yeah.
Who was the second?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Remember we did a trial run?
I think it was us.
But I think we ended up
Maybe not.
No, we didn't.
releasing the trial run. I
No,
think.
we didn't.
No?
I have nothing to do with this. I just happened to be in the chair. Like I really have nothing to do with this. And then
But you have a good memory because I don't remember that.
remember with Jeannie,
No, that was
we did like a trial run. And then
I mean, I feel like the early
know.
episodes, there's part of me that wants to go back and listen to the first ones because I think
wonder.
we had so many really great conversations. And lately, I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. Like, I feel like I need to go back and remember what we talked
think?
about.
Why?
I do. I don't know. I keep going, well, I've already told this story. I've already said this once. And
I see what you're saying.
I don't want to say it again. Like I had a guest on the other day and he didn't know much about me. He was a friend of Bert's that Bert thought I should talk about because he had a really tough childhood and he's a really great dad. So he thought it would be an interesting conversation just about parenting and not somebody that is in my wheelhouse at all. But I had to retell some of my own past because he didn't know who I was. And I feel like, oh, people don't want to hear this shit again. I've already said it. Sorry. So I don't know. I got to revisit
Yeah,
those
I
ones.
wonder though. I don't know that people would feel that way.
Episode 2 is Sandy and Cathy.
Thank you, Halston.
What did we talk about in that episode? Do you remember?
I sit down with my very best friends, Cathy and Sandy, to get their take on what it must be like to be married to Bert. The time our vacation house had a secret room, and Sandy talks about being a refugee.
Nice.
Wow.
Wait, we married to Bert or you
No,
married to Bert?
what
We're not
you
married
think
to
it's
Bert.
like for me to be
Me,
married.
I
to Bert.
see.
So 5 years later, what do you think it's like for me to be married to Bert?
Well,
Wait,
5
you're
years
still
later,
married
we
to
know
him?
very well. And
We're surprised.
Yeah, you are not surprised
we know exactly what it means to be married to Bert.
because you're somewhat married to Bert also in your own special
And
way.
we choose
right?
not to be.
Every Monday, we have to party every Monday.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
kind of got used to it. And then now he's like not available on Mondays anymore.
He's never home.
I know. Remember,
Yeah.
he used to come home every weekend.
And then the Mondays,
and then
it's
want
like
to
the
party
Mondays,
Monday
we're
night.
like all kind of just get back into our groove with the kids. And
Yeah.
then Monday, it's just the hardest day to party
I know.
with kids.
and he would
now I
tantrum,
can.
wouldn't he? He would tantrum if we didn't
Yeah.
get together.
Oh yeah, and now I can party on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Right, 'cause now the
Thursday,
kids don't
Friday.
care.
But he's not here.
He's not here. I know.
That's true. Yeah.
I miss him a lot. It's very different than 5 years ago. He's never home lately. He hasn't been home a lot lately, and I'm not a fan. I like him coming home. A couple
It's
days a week.
also, now that the kids are older, there's like a different level of distraction, right?
Yeah.
5 years ago, you were doing so much more.
Yeah,
you
that's
had
right.
to drive them everywhere,
Yeah.
right? Now it's like,
It's not that long ago, 5 years ago.
no,
but
it's not. But a lot has changed. Yeah.
A lot.
You're right.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot has
You
changed.
look at
true.
pictures, and like the kids were like, "Oh my gosh!" And now they're like, "What?"
And I look like the crypt keeper now. I look pretty hot 5 years ago. I look at me now and I look 5 years ago and go, oh my God, I'm so screwed. It's seriously downhill from here. But yeah, a lot has changed in 5 years. Oh, I mean,
You moved 3 times,
only twice.
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 But they bought 3 houses, 4
Yeah.
houses. 5, 6.
We moved.
Just kidding.
No, we only moved once. We moved to the other house and then this house,
Yeah.
Oh yes,
You didn't
that's
technically
right.
move into here or, yeah.
we expanded into here.
I feel like it's so much has happened 5
So much
years
has
ago.
happened. Yeah.
It has.
It's very
I mean,
true.
we have kids in college now, the two of us.
I mean,
all of our
they
kids-
went through high school. They weren't even in high school 5 years ago. They've been
That's
through
true,
high
you're
school and graduated and now in college.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all our kids were they at the same school? No, they weren't at the same school 5 years ago.
Not 5 years
But
ago.
The kids were a lot more connected 5 years ago. Now our kids don't ever see or talk to each other like collectively, hardly at all.
Wait, did I
No, right?
leave and then come back? That I did
In the
your-
last 5
your
years?
first episode or your second episode, and then I left and then I came back.
I don't know. That would have been
what
No,
year was
5
that?
years ago would have been 6th grade. So you were here in 6th grade.
Yeah. I think you guys haven't left.
Kylie was
I think you guys had already come back for the second time.
Okay,
because Kylie would have been in 6th grade.
that's
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
she's-
2017.
If you say so.
So
My math
18.
doesn't work that fast.
Oh my gosh! All
that's
right,
6
I'm
years
having a
ago.
senior moment. I'm not just.
Yeah.
I can't remember shit.
No, I don't know. But I do
I
know
don't think you
there-
guys were gone within the last 5 years. I think you've been here.
No, we've been here.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know
We've
if we
been here. Wait,
left.
and have you've moved though? You moved also,
Yes.
Yeah, you were in
Yes.
Hes's
Yeah.
house when we started.
right? You moved
Yeah,
too.
mhm. We moved.
And you moved.
Oh yes.
We moved like 5.5 years ago, but yeah,
So you had just moved.
just moved. Yeah,
And we were
or maybe we
vetoing that
hadn't
move.
even. Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
Wait. Okay.
yeah.
It's
'Cause
been
ours-
5 years
yeah.
for you? Okay. So yes, we came back after you moved.
Yeah, I feel like you've been here
Mm-hmm.
for 5 years.
I definitely started the podcast late January
yeah,
5 years ago. So you and Kylie would have late
So
January 5 years
early
ago.
2018.
Kylie would have been.
You know, it's been so long that we are at Super Bowl with just us. No kids.
with like no kids. Yeah,
No kids.
No
That was
kids.
weird.
It was kind of weird.
It was weird and it was also nice.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, this is an easy group.
Yeah.
Everybody's just easy in this group.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to worry about anybody, or we can just kind of hang out. You come in sweatpants,
Mm-hmm.
not have to worry about anything. You just show up and eat.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, my constitution's not used to Super Bowl food. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
I've had a rough day today, if you know what I mean. My long COVID showed up again today, and I was like, it's all the fucking cheese. I ate
Yeah,
cheese
right.
and cheese
Oh
and
my God.
cheese.
How many
Oh, the
cheese
five
dips and,
five layers of cheese. Like wait, five
Yeah,
layers.
the
of
Mexican
cheese.
dip had cheese,
Yeah.
and then Eric's thing had cheese.
Yeah.
No, Eric's.
Eric's thing was cheese.
Oh, it was cheese in a bowl.
It was
in a,
cheese
like
with
platter.
like Ritz crackers and jalapenos.
Yeah.
What was that?
He does it every year for
Jalapeno-
Super
yeah,
Bowl.
it's the same
All right.
thing we've had. Yeah.
Was it clam dip? Because Lenore thought it was a clam dip.
No, that's Christmas Eve only.
Lenore was offended.
She was. She said, "Did this taste like seafood?" I'm like, I don't think there's a clam in here.
Do you think she goes, someone's stepping on my clam?
Yes,
I think
uh-huh.
she did.
She
Yeah.
did.
She did.
She's a little feisty these days.
I can't believe she stayed and watched the whole episode. I mean, the whole ball game.
She's a big sports fan.
Is she really?
Yeah, like huge sports fan. Like we'll go home to like watch sports. Yeah.
I would never
'cause-
have thought that.
Richard was a huge sports fan. So she just watched with him and has stayed with it.
How about
She
that?
loves women's basketball. She watches all sports. Like it's crazy. Yeah. She's a big sports
Would you have
fan.
thought that of 4'0" Lenore
Lenore? Yeah.
with her rope sandals with socks on? Did you see that she wore socks with her rope sandals yesterday? Mm-hmm. That is
I
like,
didn't.
maybe that's like her paracord bracelet. Is her rope sandals?
She can't survive without
so
them.
sweet.
Oh my God.
She can
Do you know
unwrap
how
her
many
sandals
pairs
and
she has?
shinny down a drain pipe with her sandals. I don't know. Those rope sandals. I don't.
She
I've
can't
never-
work her TV. So
She can't, but she can't work her TV. But she's got her paracord
She's
rope.
got it,
They're
yes.
not paracord. They're like legit, like
they're legit like
nautical rope. That's what it looks like, a nautical rope. She's so cute. She's so lovely that she remembered it was Tom's birthday, and she remembered that it was Eric's birthday.
I know. She
has
is
it on her
amazing
calendar.
with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like amazing.
She's really sweet.
It's weird that that's the stuff she remembers, but
She probably doesn't remember her own birthday.
she remember every year she'll like be like, today, do you know on the Jewish calendar, this is Stephen's bar mitzvah day. Bar mitzvah day. I was like, really? Okay.
Should we celebrate?
Yeah, I'm like, we don't
we read the
care,
Torah?
actually, but okay.
That's pretty
Like,
funny.
and particularly on the Jewish calendar day. Like, it's not even the actual calendar. You know what I
Oh, I
mean?
see,
Like,
yeah.
it was May, whatever, or whatever. So it's like this random day. We're like, okay.
That's her savant.
Yeah,
Right, we
it
all
is.
have
It
a little
really is.
savant.
She absolutely remembers stuff like that.
That's so crazy.
It is crazy.
What's your savant?
But I don't have one.
You got to have one. What's your savant?
What is
What's that mean?
Like, what's the thing that you're like good at for no reason? Like,
Right.
Lenore remembers everybody's birthday.
Right. She remembers dates really
She's
well.
just really good at it. What's your savant? What is it? What is it?
directions.
Driving directions? Totally. I think you want to get there
100%.
quickly. Sandy. That's what
Definitely. She's the first go-to.
I guess to get the party started, I'm just
You
I'm
are
just
good at
kidding. I don't know. Just having a
You
good
are
time.
good at that.
You are good at that.
And
That's
you're
true.
good at finding deals. Like, where's
that's
the deal?
true.
Where's
Yeah.
the deal? Where's the
yeah.
angle? How do I get that for less, or how do I get more, or how do you're good at that?
Mm-hmm.
What is that called? Being savvy, like being savvy, like with getting shit
Yeah,
done.
because it's not like bargain hunting, because it's more than
No.
that. It's
No.
like, yeah, I don't know what you would call that.
You are at getting the hookup.
Yes,
You're good
hookup.
at the
Yes,
hookup.
the hookup.
You
What's
are
the
good
hookup?
at the, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know if I have one really,
Pretty good baker. Are you an
Yeah.
instinctual baker,
but is that
or do you
like
follow recipes?
a little bit of both? But
I don't know. what mine
Drinking?
is.
no,
During
definitely not.
day drinking.
Day drinking.
Day
yes.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
no.
I don't know what mine is either. Yours is a hookup.
Oh no,
Yours is
you're.
definitely a-
I know.
What is
What
mine?
is hers?
Oh yeah, I know.
What?
Putting up with Bird.
There you go, Bert. I am a savant at that. I'll tell you what I
Fucking
might
I
do.
would not. I mean, she's the only one can.
You
do
are
it.
the only
You
human who
have
could
the
be
most
married to him.
patient. I mean, you're the most patient person I know.
I think now that you say that, I think I know what my savant is. I can find a glass half full in anything.
It's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
if
you're
you
right.
say you're going to prison for 5 years, I'll go, well, I finally have time to read. Like, seriously, I might be savant at that. That might also be
Yeah.
a flaw, because I might end up putting up with shit I shouldn't because I find the glass half full.
Yes, you do. It's if it's some shit happens really bad, I will call you, and you don't make the situation as bad as it is.
It's a coping
some skill,
mechanism.
yeah.
I'm sure it's the way I coped with my childhood. Is I go, well, at least I see my dad on Friday.
Right.
So I'll just focus on us getting my dad on Friday. So I just got to get to Friday. I remember thinking that as a child.
It's like, oh yeah, I step on some shit. You're like, oh yeah, but at least you didn't eat the shit. Or something like that. It's like
Well, now
that.
you have
You're like,
clean
yeah.
shoes.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, these shoes you can clean up the shit. It's like that.
yeah.
Is that a
Yeah, I think that's my savant. I think that is. I find the glass half full in just about anything. I can spin stuff toward a solution like that. Almost always. I can figure out, well, we can't deal with the problem. We can find a solution. And really, I mean, like we had an incident in our crew today, and I kept going, well, okay, well, all these problems present an opportunity to have a new way of functioning. So instead of just getting hung up on the problem, you can't change that there's a problem, but what you can do is go, well, how do we prevent it next time? And how do we address it in a positive glass half full way so it doesn't happen again? That's my savant. Okay, Kathy, what's your savant?
I don't know.
I don't know what your
really
savant is
don't
either.
know.
What do you know what her savant is?
Like,
Putting up with Steven? Which is similar to putting up with Bert.
yeah, not the same, but yeah. No, I don't know. Do I have one? That's
Oh,
interesting.
I know. I've said this a million times on a podcast, but if I want someone to go into agreement with me and get as upset as me, I call you. If I want someone to see the other side of the coin, good or bad, I always call Kathy, because she doesn't deny what I have to say. She goes, well, let's think about it this way. and she'll present something.
So she shift her perspective.
Yes.
right?
And I go, oh,
like
yeah.
you shifting
I never thought about that. Yeah.
your thought.
Yes. It's like
way.
I have this whole brain, right? And then she has like this other brain that's not like mine. So when I call her for the same situation, if she's in agreement with me, then I know I'm really right. Like we just had an incident with a mom where I'm feeling like this is bad. But I'm going to call Cathy, and Cathy goes, are you fucking kidding me? And I go, okay, this is really bad. That's right. Then if she says it's bad, then it's really bad. But then sometimes I'll call and she'll go, wait a minute though. Let's look at it over here. Not even glass half full.
Right.
Sometimes it's
That is true.
contrarian.
Yes. That's what.
Sometimes
That is very true.
It's a contrarian, but that's not a negative. People hear contrarian and they think that means someone's like, that sucks all the time.
Yeah.
She's not negative, but she sees the contrary perspective that gives you a fuller perspective. I think you're really good at that. Do you do that with other people or
That
just
is
me?
that is very true. I think actually I do have a tendency to step outside and look at the overall picture, both sides of it, good or bad, which makes my husband fucking crazy because I don't agree with him necessarily. But yeah, I do. I think that is very true. That is how I function.
And you're very calm about it too.
Yes, you are.
You're very calm. You're very easy to talk to.
Yes, very easy to talk to. Very easy to lay problems at your feet.
Yes.
You don't reciprocate that often, though. That would be my one complaint. So I never know when you have a problem because you
That's
don't
true.
ever share
That
it.
is true.
Then I feel less than. So you make me
Why?
feel bad about myself.
So she's like a therapist. You can lay your shit on like either them,
yeah.
but they would never share.
Yeah.
But you have a therapist background, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't
super
want to.
shocking.
You're not supposed to share your problems, right?
She's Fort Knox over there. Fort
yeah.
Knox.
But we're not your patient. We're like your friend. We're not your client.
So you can call and go, I fucking hate my husband. And we go, we hate him too sometimes. Just like you hate mine.
Totally understand.
You hate mine sometimes too. I hate Sandy's husband sometimes too when he's not nice to her. And I go, I hate that guy, but I love him. He's like my brother, same as your husband. I hate that guy, but I love him. Like,
Oh, and you're also good at buying stupid gifts.
I am so good at buying stupid gifts.
It's stupid but useful. I mean,
Right? I'm so proud of myself. I've told everybody. Did I call you and tell you about the
Yes.
gift? I know, because I've told
Yes.
everybody about the gift. I told everybody. I called Georgia and told Georgia. And Georgia's like, okay.
Okay, yeah, Mom.
And then I had to explain why it was so important to me. And then she was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, nobody understands.
Anyway, that was.
I love that when I find a gift for somebody. When I bought Stephen the Blackstone, I thought Tom needs this and doesn't know it, but I got it for it's my 50th birthday gift for the men, right? It's the same thing. And I was like, Stephen is going to freaking lose his mind. That makes me so excited.
What is it?
The Blackstone.
What Blackstone?
The griddle,
that.
the
Yeah.
griddle thing.
Yeah.
And I really wanted Tom to have it for his 50th.
Right.
And then you said, I don't know if he'd want that. And then Bert said, I don't know. He's something he should buy himself. And 2 years later, I was like, it has never left me. I want to give him that.
Yes.
That's what I want to give him because I can see him rigging like a U-shaped table around it and being Benihana with his kids. I see that in my brain. And if I'd given it to him at 50, he'd have had more time to do that with your kids. But I didn't. I waited. And I think he likes that. But this year was this year I really knocked it out of the park. I'm so proud of myself. So stupid, a $15 gift. I call my daddy. I told my daddy about what I got for Tom.
but your daddy appreciates it.
He did. He went, that sounds like a good gift. That sounds like a good
And the
gift.
chopper was really good. The chopper.
That chopper thing. Yep.
Well, the chopper wasn't received.
I
as
think
well.
under $20 is really good gifts for Tom.
That's
for
a
Tom.
challenge for Tom. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, that chopper came from Limited Commodities. I think it was maybe $14.
That's
Yes.
hysterical.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
But my dad's wife gave me one, and I was like, this is the best. I'm just buying this for, I bought one.
We have one.
Yeah, I bought one for you and for
dishwasher
Steven,
safe,
for
like,
Eric,
yes,
for
it's
Tom.
really
the
good.
best thing
The
ever.
best thing is
Yeah.
about chopping onions.
I know.
Yeah.
Onions, and you don't get it like
garlic.
you know.
Garlic that
garlic, me
always
too.
sticks. Oh my
Oh, really?
God.
Yeah, the little
it's really
bitty
good
one
for
to
garlic.
mince garlic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, I didn't never use it for garlic. I
It's
only
really
use
good.
it for onions. So I don't cry
Does
And
good with
because it's all-
peppers too. Like if you want to cube peppers, if you want them really small, does good with
I've
peppers
never
too.
used it for that.
I
But
did. You have to really slam it.
yeah.
But I use it for onions and garlic every time, almost every time I cook. Why are you laughing?
Because I just slamming it.
You do have to go wham.
I don't know
yes.
if I told you, Kathy. Tom got
I showed up. So Saturday was Tom's birthday.
Yeah.
And I've had his gift for 3 weeks. It's been killing
waiting.
me. It was burning a hole in my pocket.
Yes, she's
I don't
like,
know.
he's like,
I'm like, I've got to give this to him today. I can't.
and you just landed. You're like,
Handle
can
it.
I come over and drop off the gift for him?
got to. I was so
And she's
excited.
like, can I come over at 4:00? I'm like, he's not here yet. Come over at 4:30. She showed up right on time.
It was like hot potato. I had to get it out of my hands. I was so excited. And for people listening, I'm going to tell you what it is. And you're going to think it's stupid. But Tom spends all his time in his car. He calls it his carfus, right? His office. So I bought this thing that hangs on the steering wheel that's a little table. So you can put your laptop on it, you can eat your lunch on it, and that way you're not like turned to the console. And he spends so much time in his office, and then when you take it off the steering wheel, it fits between the seat and the console.
Perfect.
It's fucking perfect. And you can't buy this man anything. I mean, I gave him the chopper, and he literally like turned it over in his hands and goes, what am I going to do with this?
yeah.
I'm never using this.
I use it all the time.
And then he always goes, thank you. Like he's obliged.
Like,
to
why
say,
did you give me a
"Thank you.
gift?"
You're
Right.
such
So
a loser for giving me a
stupid.
gift. He did the same thing with the grill cleaner.
Yeah.
I was like, you just throw it in the dishwasher. It's awesome. And he's like, thanks. And then for him to go, he actually said to me, I'm actually going to use this. And I was like, did the heavens open and Jesus himself came down and anointed me? What? You actually said you're going to use this thing? He tried it out in his car, put his laptop, and he said, oh, now actually when I do a Zoom, it's like face level. I'm not looking down
the
in my
car,
lap.
yeah.
And I was the whole time going, this
my
is the
goodness, a
best
home
day.
run.
Maybe this may even be better than the birth of my children. It was really exciting. I was so excited. And I don't know why I care
That's
so
hysterical.
much because, I mean, he's just a friend. It's not like, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
I really care. So I showed up with my hot little gift in my hand, and I had been really kind of out-jazzed by his own mother because she gave him,
Oh God.
what did she give him,
God,
Sandy?
tell me.
If you're stressed, it's a knockout like punching bag. It's like a desktop
God, I
punching
know,
bag.
I've seen these.
A
Yes,
desktop
yes.
punching bag.
Yeah.
So it's like you just punch it.
You can put it on his desk in his carfus.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I said you can put it on the desk in your coffin and just like punch it. Right. Punch it.
But then you can only slap it side to side. There's not enough room to punch it right here in your car. You just slap it.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's hysterical.
And big suction cup, just koosh, right to there.
Right, that's so funny. I almost got those in the kids' care package for finals.
You did.
But they didn't come in time. Like Amazon didn't deliver
funny.
them. And
I
they came
have
like,
it if you want to. I have it at home. I don't know what to do with it.
Regift.
That's such a
wait till
regift.
Kylie goes to college. Send it to her during finals week. I was
Perfect
like, that would be hysterical for kids. But
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also very good at regifting, but I got busted, so I
You
can't
did?
regift
Who busted you for regifting?
it. A friend of mine.
wait, was
she,
this the purse?
no.
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 Okay.
This was something else. She went into my bathroom and then I guess I regifted something in my bathroom. And she's like, wasn't this in your bathroom?
Oh my God. Was it a candle or something?
Some shit like
Oh
that.
my God.
And she was like, okay, Sandy, I just saw this in your bathroom last week.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. I was just
no,
like,
I bought two.
Right,
And one's in my
exactly.
bathroom
Right, I
and one's
still
for
have one.
you.
yeah.
That's what you do.
Anyway.
On your feet.
And we were all guilty of regifting.
You know Romy,
Yes.
my fantastic, fabulous hairdresser. I showed up, not this past visit, but the one before, and he goes, okay, full disclosure, I'm regifting. Here's your regift. And he gave me a beautiful, like, ceramic handmade platter. But he's like, it's just not my color scheme.
Okay.
And I think it's your color scheme. So it's a regift, but Merry Christmas.
Oh, so you think it's better that I just announce it next time?
Well,
It's like,
I-
this is a regift.
Well, his was clearly brand new. It was still in the original packaging. And he was like, I just thought of you. As soon as someone gave it to me, I thought of you. So I thought that was really lovely, that sentiment.
Yes.
But I guess
Yeah.
it depends on who you're giving it to. If you said that to me, I would go, that's awesome. Thank you for thinking of me. But some people are snooty and don't like
Yeah.
that. I think it depends on who you're giving it to. Would you be offended if I said to you, hey, this is a regift? No.
Not at all.
We also wear sweatpants to each other's houses pretty regularly,
Yes.
and that's not a big deal. So,
It's
teenagers,
all good.
how are you doing with your teenagers?
Which
Five
one?
years ago, we did not have teenagers. Oh, well,
Yeah.
11. Mine was 11
Or-
5
and
years
13.
ago. Well, I had a teenager. You had a teenager too.
We
How's it
had
going?
Yeah.
A tween and a
It's going.
teenager.
Yeah.
It's going. I see some lights at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's some brighter lights.
Yeah, right?
It's still, it sucks. They suck.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard.
It's getting, you know what's interesting? I don't know how Max is this quarter or this semester at school, but Georgia is calling me a lot and
yeah.
texting me a lot. And she's happy. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong. But I think she's starting to realize kind of like, I have a good mom and dad. She's calling her dad a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
A lot, which is really good for both of them. But someone said to me, where was I? Someone had two girls. And she said, once they get to be in their 20s, they really look back for their mom. If you had a good relationship with your girls, it was
That was
Leanne
Leanne Morgan.
It was Leanne Morgan. Thank you. Thank you, Charlie. It was Leanne Morgan. She was like, it's something to look forward to because when they get older, they come right back. She said, boys go to the girls' family. But the
Who's
girls,
Leanne Morgan?
Leanne Morgan's a comic.
Oh, okay.
She's from Tennessee, Knoxville. She was a guest here, and we were talking about, I don't know even if we were talking about that on the podcast, but her daughter was traveling with her. Her daughter's a makeup artist and was traveling with her to do her makeup and just kind of be supportive. Leanne is a really funny Southern comic who blew up like in her 50s. She really became popular in her late 40s, early 50s, been doing comedy for a long time. But she has 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. And she was like, the boy goes with the wife and the girls kind of come back. So she's like, if you're just wait, they'll be back and they'll be very present. And I was like, oh, that's nice. I look forward to that.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, it was nice to hear because her kids I think they're in their 20s. All 3 of her kids are in their 20s. Yeah. Teenagers, I think we've had it pretty good. Yeah. What do you think?
It's interesting that you said that about Georgia. Max, we have more conversations. Like I still, I don't know. We have more conversations on the phone. Like there was a lot of texting in the first semester. He's not a big phone talker and he has been more recently.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that.
Yeah, Georgia's calling me. She texted me a ton today.
Max does not call, but he will pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And then he talks a lot actually, which is not something that usually happens.
Yeah.
So interesting.
I think Georgia thought we were the enemy a little bit when she was in high school and there was rules like you have to be home by midnight because we don't want you out driving and you can't drink in our house.
Now you're like a friend, more like,
That's
instead of
interesting.
like setting rules, you're more like, more comfort.
I think so.
it's
More
like,
of a support.
more support.
There's still rules. We need to see your grades.
course, yeah.
You need to at least be passing.
Like it's
your
not every
classes,
day,
but it's not every day.
It's like clean your room,
Yeah. There's so much more
don't
autonomy.
be rude,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
this,
Lily is going through this phase right now where we are just like evil. I'm like, I don't even know why. Like, I don't know what is going on, but like her rules are not even unreasonable, but it's interesting that you say that. She's definitely going through something.
Yeah, my sister said that her kids is like, don't even want to talk to her. It's like, get out. Like, get out of my room. My girls do that too, once in a while.
I didn't really
like,
have
yeah.
that with Georgia. I had sneaky lying, doing one thing, saying another, keeping stuff from us. We
doing
had
that,
but all this is normal,
always
teenage
normal.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I snuck so much stuff around my dad. I lied to my dad, like bald face. I'm going to Stephanie's, and I'd go to Jeff's house. I mean, like just fly to his face. And that's some of the stuff I was dealing with Georgia. And I feel like it's less. I don't feel like it's gone, but I feel like it's less. There's a lot of stuff that I'm getting information late, but I'm at least getting it. And before I would have to really pull it out of her.
Right.
Boy, I think you need a PhD to be a parent these days, right?
It is not easy,
For
man.
teenagers.
For teenage, well, yeah.
And for toddlers.
Yeah,
I
I think
can
it's hard
deal
for
it.
different
I would-
reasons
yeah.
at all stages.
I
You know,
I will go back to toddler any minute.
Yeah, I didn't have much trouble in toddler stage either, but I watch other people struggle with toddlers, and it doesn't look very fun. I think like having toddlers is like having dogs. You just have to set some clear boundaries and stick to them, you know, and discipline them sometimes, not spanking them or anything.
okay, but
just
that's not all that different than
consequence.
teenagers either,
That's true.
right? I mean, clear boundaries, clear
Yeah.
rules, and stick to them.
Yeah, that's true.
They're different rules, but
Totally.
you know,
They just have a little more freedom too. The teenagers.
they do
It's
have more
like,
freedom
yeah.
where they can, you know,
Yeah,
make
they
bad
can
choices,
just-
but you know, if they
Yeah.
have the rules or consequences, like, I don't know. I have to say, I was so pleasantly surprised when Max was home for winter break.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I was a little bit nervous, right?
Why?
Because he's 18. He has, you know, I don't know why that makes a difference. He was 18 before he left, right?
Yeah,
like he
right.
was 18 for 6 months before he was gone. But I don't know, like it felt different, right? Coming home from college, like you've had a whole semester to be completely autonomous and completely independent. So I was like, are we going to have a lot of like fighting over rules or whatever? Because when you come back, there are still some rules that I expect. And I think they were super reasonable, and he was super respectful of all of them and followed them and was like, I'm like, I just need communication. I just need to know where you're going. Don't be lying to me. Don't tell me you're going here and you're going here. Like that's stupid
But why?
shit.
Yeah,
Like, why would you do that? Right. But he was really great. And I don't know. I anticipated it being a lot more challenging than it really was. So I'm super grateful that we had that and it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah, it was good. I don't know. I just thought it was going to be more challenging, but
You thought he'd still be pushing back a bit more?
a little bit. Yeah,
Maybe it made him see how good he had it.
maybe.
You know.
And, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like everything he asked for was so reasonable. So there's no reason to really say, no, you can't do this or no, don't do that or whatever. Like it was so, we respected the fact that he's 18 and he's going to go out and do these kinds of things. And he's like, okay, if you want to know where I'm going to be, I'll let
Does
you
he
know.
still ask you for permission, or is he just telling you?
It's a lot of telling. There's not a lot of asking.
Okay.
I think that's that way for everybody. My 16-year-old says, so Saturday I'm going to do whatever. And I go,
My
hold on.
16-year-old does too, but my 16-year-old, I have a problem with it. I'm like, you don't actually get to tell me what to do. There should be an ask in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
18 away at college is a different ballgame.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Like
Yeah.
for you to say, I'm going here and I'll be home at 2 a.m. I don't love that, but at least I know exactly what's happening. And you actually come home on time.
Right.
Okay, I can't really complain about any of that.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? When my 16-year-old says, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
There should be a question mark in there.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. It feels different to me.
It does.
But
Well, Georgia called me last week and she said, I think I want to come home for spring break.
Oh.
I said, you do? I said, you want to bring some friends home? She said, I don't think so. I think I need to be home with my family and my dogs.
Oh.
And I went, okay, that's fine. I said, if you change your mind and you want to bring a friend home, or if you change your mind and you want to go to a friend's or do something with a friend for spring break, it won't hurt our feelings. It's okay. You know, spring break, at least in the South, spring break's a big deal. You know, you go to
To go
Daytona.
with your friends, yeah.
yep.
Yeah, you go somewhere with your friends. So I was like, it won't hurt our feelings. But she said, no, I think I just need to be home with my dogs and with my family and hang out with my sister. And that's what I want to do. And I was like, okay.
You're like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, no, I
know,
was,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm going to sit on her like an egg.
Right.
A hatcher. I miss her a lot. Do you miss Max a lot?
I do.
I miss her a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't miss her the first quarter. Since she went back from Christmas, I really miss her.
It's
Yeah,
a lot
she was
different this
saying, yeah.
semester, isn't it? It's a lot different.
It is a lot different.
I didn't anticipate that, actually.
Yeah, it's a lot different. I think it's a lot different for her too.
I totally agree.
I think she's missing home a bit.
I think
Aw.
you know, it was so new and exciting first semester. And
Yeah.
second semester, you're like, oh shit,
Oh shit, this is reality.
real.
Yeah.
Like I don't
I'm an
have
adult.
mom making me food. I don't have all of these support systems. I got to fucking figure it out
Yeah.
every day on my own.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge, you
It
know?
is,
And I
yeah.
think, you know, particularly our kids who are coming from pretty freaking good places, it's a shock to their system
I think so.
a little bit. So,
Crazy, huh?
yeah.
I don't want to look forward to it.
I know you got 2 more years or a year and a half. How
Year and a
long?
half, right? I know.
Yeah.
That is
not
scary,
looking
too.
forward to it. Just going to enjoy every minute of it.
Because you know that your daughter is going to be off and running. Mm-hmm. Good luck getting that girl on the phone.
You know what? I think she's going to be the same. I think she's going to be off and running. And
Yeah.
second semester, she is going to be like, wait a minute.
Well,
I had it really good at home. Maybe.
Oh, she
I
already
think- I
knows
think
that.
she's
She
gonna
already
be like
knows that. She's
of
like,
course
I
she
know.
knows that, but it's
Yeah,
different when
it's
you're
true.
away from home. I would anticipate she has the same pattern.
probably right. Because you,
You
and
know?
Tom are really good parents, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And you're
we're-
really connected to your children.
Yes.
We all are really connected to our children. So if you work on that, you know, they just stay connected. I don't think they
Yeah.
ever really disconnect. Georgia never really disconnected. She just was like, too busy. But I don't know. It's an interesting journey, this part of life. 5 years of podcasting was middle school, high school. The next 5 years is going to be empty nester, college and
It's
empty
college
nest.
and yeah.
I don't know. Empty nesting. Here's the thing that I'm seeing now. I'm alone a lot, right? Already, because I have one teenager in college, one teenager that's busy. She's in jujitsu. She is in taiko. She has drum. She's always on the phone or on FaceTime with her friends. She obviously has schoolwork. So I'm home by myself a lot. So a trivia night came up for our school. It's been going on for years. I've never gone. And this year I went, you know what, I'm going to go. Because my future has got to be that. It's got to be going to things where I go, I'm so tired. I've worked so much. I have so much to do. Do I really need to sit at a trivia night? But the answer is yes, you do. Because you need to get out of your house.
Right.
You need
Because
to
it's
do
either
something.
that or sit on your couch alone.
Except by yourself day after day after
Right.
day, which I'm tired and I wanted to sit on my couch, but I was like, no, I'm going to go. It's a fundraiser for school. I haven't gone for years because Bert's not been home and I just need to stop functioning like that. I got into this lull of just being busy with my kids and busy with life that once my kids are gone, I have to start really doing stuff outside of that, you know,
But you have to replace the busy with something else.
or the social,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Because a lot of that busy was social.
It's all social.
Yeah.
Volunteering at Colfax was very social. But, and I
Even
stopped
just like
volunteering.
transporting kids is fairly
It's very
social.
social.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like
It
there's
is.
a lot there's a lot of contact with other people that doesn't happen these days.
No, and it's
know?
not going to get better. It's going to get like,
Right.
once they're both gone, I'll never leave my house. What am I going to do? I'll work out with you 3 days a week. We have 2 more years of Girl Scouts. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Yeah, right.
And then after that, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about your empty nester coming up? You
I'm
got
already-
like 4 or
yes.
5 years.
Well,
You've got yeah.
I feel like you now where I'm home alone. Like when Tom's not here, I'm just by myself because the girls are very social. I have 2 very social girls.
Yes, you do.
So most weekends, I'm just by myself. But I'm also very social. So I'll find myself, I will get out
Yeah.
because I'm not going to be the one that sitting home and, you guys go. But I do have to say that I do stand by like on the weekends. Like if they need a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of limits where I go to.
Right.
I can't just like, go and party and, hang out. But I have to be responsible if they need a ride home.
Right.
Because I always tell them that's like, hey, listen, no questions asked. If you need to ride home, if that's what you're doing and, I'm not going to say anything,
Yeah.
just tell me that I'll always be there
Yeah.
and we'll deal with it the next day.
Yeah.
But I will always pick you up.
Right.
If you want to just come home, we always say, sleep over, like, that night when we all went out and Lily's like, I don't want to sleep over.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't feeling well. And then we went to pick her up.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to still kind of be alert.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I feel like I think I can do it. I'm looking forward to the next phase with Tom, because I told him, I said, I don't know. I think you need to be home more.
Yeah.
Because all these years I can deal with it of him being gone, because they're toddlers and, I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's a whole different ball game, because it's their teenagers. They need is mental. It's not physical that they need you.
It's emotional.
It's emotional.
Yeah.
It is it's like, I don't think I can do that alone.
Mm-hmm.
That needs like some sort of like a sounding board. Mm-hmm. It's like, I need to kind of talk to you, it's sort of, I need a partner.
You need a teammate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because all that changing diapers, making food, I can do that by myself.
Yeah.
I don't really need, grocery shopping, rides here, there, all that. But it's like, how am I going to deal with this situation?
Right.
Do I confront her, or do I, how do I parent this? That needs a little bit of like, not just like,
You're right.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely
totally
right.
right.
And I'm just like, that part, I still am like, oh my gosh, I've never expected that.
Yeah.
In all these years, I said, you know what? I've never asked you to come home. I can do it. I'm pretty much, I think I can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
But that I can't really I think the kids, I think, needs like both parents. They need to see that I don't know, they just gang up on me too.
Well, it's not that you can't do it.
Exactly. I would prefer, yes.
It's not that you can't. It's not the best model, right?
Yeah.
It's not the best plan.
Right.
Because I have that too. And, the one time I've talked about several times is when I busted Georgia in like 4 lies in a row and then went and picked her up in the middle of the night. And I was going to handle that situation by myself in a certain way. And in the middle of the night, because she had been drinking and she was really drunk when I picked her up. In the middle of the night, I went, no, I actually need Bert's perspective and input.
Someone else.
Even though
right.
we are both imperfect parents. Neither of us are perfect.
No.
But in this moment, I was like, I'm going to be I'm going to be too strict. I'm going to be like an asshole because I'm here every day and I'm getting this shit every day. I need his perspective. So he wasn't here, but I called him and told him what was going on and was like, we have to deal with this together.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to talk to her about it until all 3 of us can get on, like George and I together and he on the phone, and we all 3 talk about this together. And that one parenting moment really completely shifted everything for the better. So I agree with you. You need your partner.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, I could do it, but it won't. Yeah.
It's not the same. I think the child receives love differently when they're receiving it from both parents at the same time, right?
It's true. And they can work against you too.
Totally.
So you all have to be on the same page.
Exactly.
Because they're going to say, oh, that's not what mom said. Oh, this is not what dad said. Dad said I can do this. No, dad is right here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just like get away
manipulate.
with it. Yeah.
The nature of
Exactly.
a teenager is to
It's
manipulate.
Yep.
It's not a faulty person that's a teenager. That's how they work.
Yeah.
They're trying to find the path of least resistance. And they're trying to put mom against dad so they get what they want.
They love that.
So being in, do you feel like when it's happened that you guys have parented with your partner that it brings you closer together?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I feel that way too.
Yes.
I feel like recently I feel closer to Bert than I have in a long time. And he's not here.
Right.
But because we're united on a lot of stuff, I feel like
It's true, because if you're not, then you bicker around it and you're like, oh, okay, this is not. And then I get mad at him. What's the point? It's like we have to agree on it. And we come up with like, okay, and he feels like, he can talk to me about certain things more. And it's like, okay, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's more like a respect too. It's like, and then they
Biggest
see that.
learning curve for me in my recent marriage in the recent years was that breakdown in Havasu. Well, our families were in Havasu, and a bomb was dropped that I knew about that Bert didn't know about. And I didn't tell Bert about it because I was trying to protect Bert.
Yeah.
He was too busy and I didn't want him to have to deal with it. So I was just going to deal with it on my own. And that was a big mistake on my part. My intentions were good, but it was still a mistake. You can have the best intentions and it still be a fuck up. And
wrong,
and 100% that was my mistake because the fallout from keeping that secret, even though I didn't really think of it as keeping a secret, I thought of it as he can't handle this,
him.
so I'll just handle it, was a real problem because that made him feel
Yes.
left out, inadequate, betrayed, that I don't trust him, that I don't think he's capable of handling. It caused so many problems in our relationship because of one really good intentioned bad decision. And I'm so glad in a way, I'm not glad that that happened, but I'm the glass half full because that's my superpower, is that I have stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Like I don't keep shit from him ever.
Yes.
And I go, we got to talk. I don't really care what's going on. Here's what's happening.
Right.
Nothing's happened as big as that. But even with the stuff you and I were dealing with last week, I said, you need to stop down and I need to tell you what's happening.
Right.
Here's what's happening. You don't really need to do anything, but I need you to
But
know
you
what's
need to
happening.
know. Yeah.
Yes. And I spent a lot of years protecting him from the bullshit of parenting.
Right.
Because he is more emotional, more reactive, more intense, not always the savviest at handling things. And so, and he's so busy that I just feel bad to lay some things at his feet. And that was one of them. It was like in this stretch of time where he had no time to deal with anything, something really big happened. And I just tried to protect him. What a mistake. Anybody listening, learn from my mistake because it was a mistake on my part, 100%. Doesn't mean he handled it well necessarily once the mistake was presented, but it was a big mistake I made to not include him in that hard moment of parenting. And that I learned that being an only child, having no siblings and having parents that weren't really, my dad was great, but he was 100 miles away and my mom wasn't great. So I learned to just rely on myself. That's the way I survived, was you don't rely on anybody. So that moment made me go, I am not in this alone. I am in this marriage with a partner and I'm in this parenting relationship with a partner. And I think a lot of the time I subconsciously thought I'm in this alone and he shows up and we're a partner when he's here, but I have to protect him from what's going on here. I got it.
Right.
You know, it was so great for me. It was a very positive learning moment from that really awful
don't you
moment.
find that you learn a lot about yourself too?
much.
Parenting teenagers, I have learned a lot about myself, and I see that I say, okay, that was not what I should be doing. That was not right.
Yeah.
Because then I see myself, I'm like, wow, you're kind of angry. And they would tell you, these girls would these teenagers would tell you what is wrong with you. And you know what? Sometimes they're not wrong, right? Wrong. You know, because I'm like, then I reflect to myself, I say, okay, I'm going to stay calm. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I think this couple years about myself.
Right.
Parenting them. In parenting them, I learned a lot about myself and how I can correct myself. And then my relationship with my husband is better. Because now we're a team. I learned so much about how to handle things. Before, I would just like, oh, I can do it, or I won't address it. But now I'm like, you know what? If I don't address it, what am I teaching them?
Right.
So that in the process of it, I learned a lot. And it's like, it's a head scratch. It's just so much work. And that's mental. It's not physical work. I'm like, I'm tired, like mentally. I'm like, oh my God, I'm exhausted.
I know.
Fucking A, man. So.
Well, that is the gift in parenting, right? Is it should cause you to have a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah.
And then have it manifest positive change in your life, right? It should make you closer as a couple, should. But that's my goal. My goal is to not be divisive, but
Yeah.
to be closer as a couple, because when the kids leave,
Yeah.
you're left with this person.
I was just going to say that.
Yes,
right? 'Cause
that's
you're
why,
going into
yeah.
this empty nester, and if you don't have that relationship, then what?
Exactly.
Like that's a whole different scary ballgame, right?
Yeah, I think that happens for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They get
right?
so focused on their agenda with their
Yeah.
kids.
And then I would get mad at him, like, you know, because he's not doing his share because he's not here, or, you know, I'm doing everything and I don't deal with it. And now I'm like, you know what? I am mad. I'm, you know, let's share this. Let's just do it together.
yeah.
Then I'm like, 'cause I need to, you know, I need to spend my time with you when they leave.
Yeah.
Because it's not
Yeah.
just about them anymore.
Right.
It's about me.
Yes,
Right.
it
Right?
is.
Yes.
And
It's
it's
about
about
me
that
and-
relationship,
yes,
that
yeah.
core relationship. The kids wouldn't be here if
Yeah,
it weren't
yeah,
for the
right,
relationship
the
with that
one that
man.
started it all. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
And then you go, well, if we're not okay, then all four of us are not okay.
yes.
We've got to be okay. First and foremost, because if we're okay, then they're going to be okay, no
Right.
matter what happens. But yeah, this journey as adults, I don't think our parents thought about. My parents did not think about marriage
But
this
neither
way.
did mine. That's for sure.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Such an incredible gift to be able to learn as you're aging with a partner
Yes.
and have the partner learn also. You know, my husband is inarguably not perfect. He is very self-focused. He's not a selfish guy. He's very self-focused. Those are very different things. But I don't know. I really cherish our relationship as much as it looks from the outside like work for me. It's very, very rewarding. My dad made me feel every single day of my life that I walked on water. And I think most days, even if Bert is giving me trouble, at the bottom of it, I still think he thinks I walk on water. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even when he's tantruming or even when he wants something, I know that at the bottom of it, that's what's at the bottom, is that he really does love me very much and values and appreciates me.
He does think you walk on water.
He does. He does. He sometimes acts like he doesn't think that, but he does kind of think that. It's a really special thing to feel. And I didn't witness that for either of my parents, which makes me really sad. You know, I don't know. I think we're lucky. We're all
Agreed.
lucky
Very lucky. Yes.
to have partners that we can look into the future and see a future, because I'll just go on the road with Bert for like a week. And then like when my kids are gone, I'll be able to go all these tent pole things that he wants to share with me. I'm camping with the Girl Scouts. Isla has winter formal. You know, it's parents weekend for Georgia in April. I'm not doing any of this because someone's going to be present for our kids. And I want to be that person. I'd love him to be
He's
there
also
too.
very lucky to have you to be, and the girls are very lucky to have you so grounded and so like, you know what, you could be doing all this. You could, you know, but you have sacrificed a lot to just kind of just the little stuff that matters, you know, being here for her formal. That's
Well, yeah.
so, you know,
It's not a choice.
yeah.
When I had a baby, when I had that baby, that is the priority, period. That kid needs to feel valued.
Yeah.
They don't need to feel like they're my whole world. No, I think that's unhealthy.
Yes.
But they have to feel valued and seen as who they are. And just being valued. It is important that I'm here for her winter formal. And how much did I see her? I took her to her house. She got dressed.
It
she
doesn't
left.
matter.
Right.
It doesn't
that
matter.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
You're right. It doesn't matter.
And I missed a
That-
huge thing in Boston to be able to sit in Kathy's kitchen and let them get ready in the next
25
room and go
minutes,
bye.
And then, right, they left. Yes.
But you know what? You were there.
But I was there, and
Yeah.
that's the point. You know, my dad was like that,
And
my
they
dad
will
was
know
there.
that instinctually,
Yes.
right? Like that does matter.
And to be honest, I represent their dad. You represent
absolutely.
Tom.
100%.
Oh yes.
Just because he's not there, I say that to Bert all the
Right.
time. He always said, I miss so much. But he didn't in that. He makes the effort to stay connected with them. He calls the girls all the time and he wants to be FaceTimed. He wants to be involved in whatever's happening. And that does matter. It does.
Yes.
It's way different than just not even knowing your daughter has a formal. He knew what was going on. He asked for pictures. He asked me to FaceTime and I forgot because how long were they at the door? 3 minutes?
3. It was like torture to get them to take those 5 pictures, right? Like,
you know what that's like. They have a picture first day of school and they're like, go fuck yourself.
right,
And I'm
exactly.
like, no.
Like, whatever, we're leaving. You're like, okay, well, it's not my fault you were late getting your like hair and makeup done. Like, just please give me 3 seconds for a picture.
In a doorway. I'm like, it's in the doorway.
It was
out
there.
the door.
Yeah.
So
Literally, they could care less about us. But
yeah. Anyway, next 5 years.
it does matter. Yeah.
Will you, when your kids are in college, what will you do with your days? Like, will you do more work for Modernica? Will you travel with Tom? Will you get super into fitness and work out 7 days a week?
I've been thinking about that a lot,
Yeah.
and maybe all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'm thinking about maybe, just probably traveling more with, and being with Tom, spending time. I think, he always wanted to, do that. And we always say, oh, let's, you come and let's go for a weekend here and there. And then it never happens because the girls still need us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want to be, we're like, you know what? We'll have time for that.
Yes, totally.
So I think it would be traveling more. I'm thinking about other stuff that I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, maybe I should get back in a job.
Yeah.
Like a job meaning like a place to go to, not like freelance. And that was been great, but I don't know if I can do that anymore.
No?
Not sure because I don't like it to structure. I like my
Oh, you mean going back to an actual job? You like the freelance?
I kind of do. But then I kind of like the structure part of it because I never got that since I have the kids. I'm always have to like find time to do it, and I almost wish I have a job because that would just, everyone tells me that's their escape. Having a job because I can just leave the shit home and then go to an office and not have to deal with it.
Right.
And it's kind of like that new show, Severance. It's like you want to forget when you're at your job, you forget what's happening
Right.
in your personal life.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? That could be very nice sometimes.
Right.
So to kind of have that escape. Because I feel like I never had that, since I have the kids.
Right.
I used to have a job, I go to travel and, 9 to 5 or office job, not 9 to 5. Nothing is 9 to 5 anymore.
Right.
But I kind of miss that.
It's the social piece you probably miss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you are so social.
Right.
And so the thought of, I'm pretty social. I'm an introvert, but I'm highly social. So I do need to take time and just like unplug from everybody. But one of the reasons I have this podcast is to see people. I don't see I would never go to lunch once a week with my friends. I would ethically feel bad about that. But once a week I have a podcast with somebody and that fills my bucket in that way. And I enjoy it. I enjoy the conversations that happen on this podcast. And I think people listening enjoy it. It gives them the same service that I get from it, is that socializing with some people. So I hear you. I always think, I wonder if I should start volunteering for some cause, so that I show up a couple days a week and have this place where I show up a couple days a week. Lately, it's been Birdie Boy Productions. I'm here constantly. And maybe that's it. And I like what I do within the context of this company. So I'll just probably keep doing that. But I hear what you're saying and needing that. It's not really an escape.
Exactly.
It's like an enrichment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to do stuff for myself too. Now that I'm, did a lot for them, sacrifice a lot, not sacrifice, but I'm just like, I do it for them, for the family.
Right.
And I kind of want to do stuff for myself.
Yeah. Well, the focus was appropriate, right?
Yeah.
But once they're in college, the focus shifts naturally because they're in college. Not that you don't do anything with them, you do.
Yeah.
But it's not
Exactly.
a day-to-day
Yes,
thing.
right. Yeah.
It's very
Right now,
different.
it's day-to-day.
It's
And
day to
so what does your day-to-day become?
day. Right.
You know, does it become working out 5 days a week and you focus on your health and wellness and your meditation and spa or whatever? That sounds very rich people problem thing. But what is it? Is it volunteerism? Is it getting another job? Is it starting a second career? What is it? What are you going to do when you're an empty nester?
I don't know. That's such a good question. I don't know. Like I don't want to go back to the 9 to 5.
Right.
Like definitively not. Like I like the idea of like 2 or 3 days a week or whatever.
Do you guys want another bottle of bubbly? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I stopped drinking.
Do you want some more?
Sure.
She does. She
See,
said
I'm,
yes.
I'm telling you.
whatever.
So yeah.
Oh, okay,
so
okay,
I'm
okay.
telling you. See,
I know, right?
She's like,
That's true.
We let her loose, didn't we?
I know, right? This is what happens when we don't drink at night.
yeah.
Now you're driving us home.
Uh-oh. It's a right out of the driveway and then a right left. I'm just
You know it's going to take us an hour to get to her house. We could walk faster.
I can walk faster. I was just gonna say. I think I might just walk.
So what are you going to do when you get out?
I don't know. That's a really good question because I definitely don't want to go back every day 9 to 5, like some sort of volunteerism, some sort of job that's a few days a week or whatever, I just think would be fantastic. But the idea of like, I don't know. I haven't done that in so long. I'm not super interested in that, which sounds so shitty, but I don't know. I don't want to do that. Like, Stephen doesn't travel. So it's not like we're going to start traveling, although why not? Like, why can't we? Like he can work. Thank you. He can work from anywhere, right? Like he doesn't have to be at home or like he just needs computer access, right? So why can't we travel a little bit more? Like that would be fantastic,
It would be awesome.
right?
Where would you go?
I don't know. I mean, it's really going to depend on what happens in the next couple of years, particularly because I don't know that Lily's going that far. Right. So is she going to continue to live at home? Is she going to, you know what I mean? She's not.
Do you want her to live at home?
What I want and what she wants are very different things.
Yeah. What do you want? for her?
I don't know. That's a good question. I keep going back and forth. I want her to follow the traditional path, go to a 4-year college and whatever. She does not want that. And I'm having a really hard time with that. And she's not wrong. She's really very driven and very smart about the goals and what she wants to achieve in life. So I think it's more my hang up and not hers. So I'm trying to adjust a little bit.
But as a parent, you can also say how you feel about it.
We've had
Right.
numerous conversations.
Yeah.
She knows exactly how I feel about it. And it's tricky because I don't want her to feel like I'm not supporting her. But
But remember, she's a kid.
she is a child.
Child,
Absolutely.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, she's also,
Sorry, guys. I have to deal with something.
unfortunately, very much like me and very stubborn. And if you tell her what to do, she'll do the opposite.
Right.
So, she definitively has my genes. So, there has to be a little bit of a tightrope walking there. But regardless of what she wants to do, she's going to be in LA, right? She's not going far, right?
Really?
She wants to act.
Oh, okay.
Like that is without a doubt her passion. That's all she's interested
That's
in doing.
great that she has a great passion.
It terrifies me. And I need to get over that. But, that's what she wants to do. So she's not going out of LA, right? She's not going to New York because she doesn't actually want to do theater. She wants to do on camera. Okay. So she's going to stay here.
But she's not going to go to school. She doesn't want to go to college for that.
She doesn't really want to. I think school is very stressful for her. And this pandemic has changed how she is as a student a tremendous amount. She's very much a people pleaser and she works really hard to not disappoint her teachers, but she doesn't enjoy what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes her very stressed to be like,
So she wants to get a job. Does she
won't
want to get
allow
a job?
herself to like not take all honors and AP classes because then she feels like she's disappointing the people and she can handle those classes. So she doesn't want to be in classes that are not challenging to her, but she doesn't like that. So I don't know. I don't know. She's
But
really
then
tricky.
if she doesn't go to school, like the 4-year school, would she feel like she's disappointing her parents?
I don't really think that's in her brain.
See, to me, that's like, I mean, I don't know. I know how you feel because I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
I would feel the same way. I would encourage them. I always encourage my siblings, and only they didn't listen to me. I think school is so important, not just, for the academic part of it, but more the social part of it.
Yes.
Social, and it's like what you made of it. It's like what you get the connection, you get the network all from the school. And that's
I think that is the piece that she's missing, right? I think in this day and age, the whole college system is so broken, right? Like maybe she needs I think she needs at least a bachelor's degree.
Yes.
However, she could get that going.
And tell her that
whatever. Like I don't actually care. However,
tell her that it's also a lot of actors, great actors. They all have, they all went to school.
Yeah.
So
because part of going to school, I don't know, not only is it the connection, part of that really is about learning about life.
exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And the other piece that I am really struggling to let go of is that if you don't go to a 4-year college and live in a dorm when you're 18, you're never, ever going to do that again.
Exactly.
You can get a degree at any point in your life. That doesn't matter. But that experience of living on a college campus, you don't get that outside of 18.
I agree.
No.
Right? Like this is the only time in your life where you can go and be a college freshman with all those other freshmen. Sure, you can go back to school. You can get a degree at any time. That's fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own path. For me, it's really hard to let go of that piece for her.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think she sees that piece because
You have
she's
voiced
17
that.
and
You
Well,
have
her
voiced-
Aunt Leanne talked to her about this.
yes, I know.
Did she tell you?
Well, no, I was wondering if you had a conversation in the car the other day.
Oh, did we?
I was so praying.
Because
you
I'm
did,
happy to talk to her as well.
Please, anyone
Because
talk to
I
her
would say-
because
we had, so
I'm sure you did.
Lily and I took Dakota to the airport. So Lily and
The
I had
other
to
day.
ride back from the airport. And
Alone.
of course,
It was just the two of
It was
you.
just the two of us.
Yeah.
And of course, I was like, so college, what's your plan? And she went, you know what? It's really stressful. And I don't want to deal with the stress of it. I have a lot going on in school and I just want to be in school. And I went, okay. My concern is, you want to be an actress, right? She said, yes. I said, okay. Well, part of life is being where your contemporaries are. Your contemporaries are all going to college. Those 4 years in college inform so many of your peers about what life is like. I was like, I don't give a shit if you went to college and studied like naval lit. But going to college is such a great moment in time that you're sharing with other peers. It's really about being with your peers. You can have a job waiting tables and audition the rest of your life. But I said, if you go out to college at 25, they're not your peers anymore.
Nope.
You're older and it's a very different experience.
Yeah.
So for me, to inform yourself as an actress, I would think you should go and do those 4 years. Do it in musical theater. Be a business major.
the
Be
funny
a
thing is,
marketing major.
both Stephen and I have said we don't actually think you should major in acting.
No.
Like you should major in something acting adjacent, producing, directing, something that informs you on the other side of being an actress.
Yeah.
Right. There's a whole business out there and you need to understand all of it.
Right.
Right. Like you're going to take acting classes. You've been doing that forever. Like all of that can continue to happen. You don't have to stop that piece of your life, but you also don't have to put everything in that. You should continue to do this piece. I think school is so stressful for her. She cannot wrap her head around it. And I don't know how to alleviate that stress for her.
Well, I did say to her, college is not like high school.
Yes.
You take like 4 classes.
Yeah.
And then Georgia has classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a lab on Thursday. Tuesdays, she has nothing. Saturday, Sunday, she has nothing.
Right.
Those Monday, Wednesday, Friday are pretty intense. She's in class from like 8:30 a.m. to 6 on and off throughout the day. So those 3 days this quarter, but last quarter, she had classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, nothing on Friday. So I was like, you can kind of make it what you want.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be this intense, crazy, all day, every day. And it's different quarter to quarter or semester to semester. Georgia just has to make it through 10 weeks. And after those 10 weeks, everything adjusts and changes. And I had told her that too. I said, so don't think of what your experience is now is not what your experience is in college.
So why don't you maybe shift her focus? Say, okay, if you don't want it to school, it's too stressful, you take a year off. What would that year look like to you? Yeah. What would you do with that year? Are you going to work? And if you're going to work, what would you be doing? Because everything in life is stressful. With work, any jobs. Yes. If she's going to get a job acting, that's really stressful. Yeah. So it's also about coping. She's going to have to realize that. And you know what? That year off, maybe she's may realize that, okay, I'm going to miss out with my peers. Like you said. Yeah. Like you said, it's so much about just the connection. Yeah. Because those are the people that may actually get you a job.
Potentially. Yeah.
Because
and it is just about this period in your life.
Yes, exactly.
College is about so many things.
So much of this.
It's so much more than whatever the hell you're studying.
And you're going to regret it. And you're going to say, you know what, I'm too old to go back. And yeah. It's I would say, you know what, push her. She's not my child, but I would, as a friend, I would say push her. I really believe in young people going to school and being with the people and not, we're
going to go take a look at a couple programs.
I think
over
that'd be
spring
smart.
Break.
That'd be smart.
She doesn't know this yet, but
you know what I learned about college? I learned that I was really mentally unhealthy. I learned that my life was off in a ditch. And I had terrible thing after terrible thing after terrible thing happen in college. So for me, college, the glass half full, because that's what I do. College for me was about riding my boat, right? I was going down a very bad path all through college. And at a certain point I went, this is getting me nowhere. I actually need to stop doing this and get a job. And because I'm not happy with what I'm studying, I don't want to do what I'm studying for a living, and I'm miserable every day. So this is not right. I was at 4 years in college and never graduated because I didn't know who I was or what I wanted. And it was so difficult that it made me stop. And then that's when I started trying to figure out what was wrong with me mental health wise. So for me, now in hindsight, looking back, college served the purpose for me to stop just doing what everybody else was doing and to start figuring out what I wanted and who I was and what was wrong with me, that I was drinking 6 days a week, that I'd lost my hair, that my liver was enlarged, that I got date raped. All these things were you going down the wrong path and not actually listening to what your path was. Because in hindsight, the best and the worst thing that happened to me was going to college. It was both, right? So I would never have gone to therapy if I hadn't gone to college, ever. And I would never be here today if I hadn't gone to therapy. Not ever. I wouldn't have.
Interesting.
You just never know. Because if I hadn't gone to college, I would have married somebody in Bowden and I would have been unhappy because I wouldn't have known who I was. I would never have had the opportunity to say, this is not who I want to be. Because you're with peers who know who they want to be. I'm going to be a teacher and I'm in school to be a teacher. I'm going to be a doctor and I'm in school to be a doctor. I'm going to marry so-and-so from this fraternity, and they're still married today on Facebook. I go, oh yeah, they knew exactly what they wanted, and they did that. And I wasn't there. So for me to be in that peer group and go, oh, hold on, it caused me to shift focus and work. And I don't think I ever would have worked at being this person if I hadn't gone to college. So college.
That's funny. So I feel like I knew exactly what I wanted when I went to college, but it made me realize how competent I really was because I did not feel that growing up at all.
Interesting.
Right. So it's that other piece where I was like, wow, I actually can get shit done.
Yeah.
I actually can. Yeah. It made me feel very competent as a person.
And if that's what Lily takes away from college,
Yeah. It matters.
it does matter.
more than
it's not
anything
about the
else.
book learning.
No, it's not.
not.
If you're going to be a doctor, you should be book learning. But
Please. Yes.
I didn't need, I mean,
Please learn about menopause.
inarguably, I am a highly successful person in a human level. I'm not talking about business. I mean, as a human being, I think I'm a pretty successful human being. And it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gone to college. 100%.
Especially she wants to be an actress.
Yes.
That's a very social thing, like a connection thing.
Yeah.
That's where you make all the connection, all
Yes.
the, even in anything, right? Well, yeah, like you said.
Yeah.
But I mean, doctor, you have to go and,
She didn't want to be a
Really do
doctor.
right.
Yeah.
Your kid didn't want to be a
Right.
doctor.
No.
My kid
It's
didn't want to be a doctor.
I mean, I really don't care what they want to study.
No.
But
Yeah.
at least, like you said, it's being around this opportunity, being around people your age, experiencing, and it's not like so carefree. You do not want to get into a job and start working. Because that's, to me, is more stressful.
And it's the rest of your life. You're going to work
Exactly.
forever.
Yes,
And when you're in college, you're around people who didn't grow up like you, who
No.
from all over the
over.
United States, who have different perspectives than
Yes.
you do. You're not in a bubble anymore. You're in a microcosm of the larger world, right? It really is
right?
a baby step into the larger world.
Yes. Into
It's
life.
such a gentler way to become an adult.
Adult is true.
Right?
Because, because you guys are
100%.
all going through it together.
All of them,
Yeah.
yes. And all these, George has had so many things where I am not a step in parent. I'm probably to a fault. I probably should step in more than I do with my kids, but I just don't. But then I look and I go, she has a roommate that has a lot of issues. And first semester was like, maybe you should move. And I really strongly felt she should move. But I knew that me making her move was
She's
not
not
going
gonna
to do
want to,
anything. So you got to let her, you got to be able to hold the uncomfortableness of her being in a bad situation, knowing she's not ultimately completely unsafe, but it's not the safest, not the best with this roommate. And trust that she will come to the right conclusion on her own. Right?
Or not, right? We were
Or not.
We're in the same boat, right?
Yes.
Terrible roommate situation for different reasons,
Yep.
but terrible roommate situations. Did all of the legwork about moving. He would not pull the trigger. Okay, your choice. You're the one who has to live there, not me.
Yeah.
Like I can't, as much as I think it is in your best interest to move.
But there's a lesson in that.
Absolutely.
There's a lesson in him. So Georgia now is like, oh, I'm moving.
Oh, yeah.
Like she went back and she was like, I'm done. I'm
But
done.
there's a
I'm
piece
moving.
of like, okay,
She needs to do that on
I
her
know
own.
how to do this.
Yes,
Right? Because
exactly.
I was like, if you go back to this situation, second semester, first of all, you know exactly what you're getting into. You cannot complain about it. You know what is going to happen.
Totally.
So let's put whatever parameters in place to make it okay for you.
Yeah.
If this is your choice, if you're not willing to take this other step, okay, then here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. There's something really valuable in that.
There is. And Lily needs to
Absolutely.
do it. I'm just going to
Yes.
tell her she has to go to college.
Good luck with that.
Sandy and Leanne
Yes, I
say,
will.
Please.
Yeah.
you have to. She has to go to college.
Yes.
She has to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold her down. I'm going to string spit over her head until she agrees.
Okay.
Even Isla wants to go to college.
I mean, is there someone in her life, in her friends, all group of them doesn't want to go, or just
No, they're all going. Like, I don't know if she knows
Okay.
anyone who's not
Okay.
going. She has friends who have committed as juniors because they're sports players, right? Like
Right,
they're all talking about it. She is, I don't know.
Isla had an interesting perspective on Lily's fear of college.
Uh-huh.
Isla calls it her fear of college.
I don't think she's wrong.
Because Isla thinks, I probably get in trouble for saying this out loud. Isla thinks she's afraid that she won't get into the good or the best or the whatever. And so she doesn't want to try.
I wouldn't be
Interesting.
surprised.
That's
I'm telling
Isla's
you, she
take.
has this fear of like not
Like what
performing,
people think. Yeah.
not, you know what I mean?
Not
What,
getting
like
into
a
Yale.
girl?
I know that's
Yeah.
not where she wants to go, but
No,
Yale.
but
School
yes,
of Drama.
exactly. You're like,
Juilliard.
who the
Or-
fuck cares?
And
Well, yeah, but I think she has a high expectation for herself.
for herself, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what it is, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what Isla thinks.
Yeah,
that
I
is
think
Isla's
actually it's
take.
not wrong, maybe, right?
I
mean,
don't think she's wrong.
Where Isla's like, I'll take whoever will take me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to a 4-year college. She keeps going, I'm going to a 4-year college and I don't want to go to some little bitty private podunk 3,000 people college. I want to go to a college. She was like, I don't want to go to ASU where it's like 50,000 students or UCLA. She was like, that's too big for me. But like 20,000 students, 15. Yeah, I want to do that. I'm really proud of Isla for wanting that because inarguably, of all of our children, school sucks for Isla. School, like
She's
actual
struggles, yeah.
academics, are terrible for her. It breaks my heart, this journey through education with her, because she's so smart. But this typical educational system doesn't work for her brain.
Right.
And it breaks, I mean, even her counselor is like, we're really limited on where we should even look. And I go, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You know, that sucks because her GPA is not fabulous,
Yeah.
but she's so fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, and if she got into the right interior design program, she would dominate that program. She's so good at that kind of stuff. But what they look at is,
Yeah.
2.75, you know, or whatever her GPA is.
It's so ridiculous how
It is
hard it
so
is now
ridiculous.
to get into.
So competitive.
It's so competitive.
And for what?
And for what?
You know what?
It's all marketing. It's all marketing.
Unless you're
Yes.
a
marketing.
It is all marketing. And to be honest with you, no one ever says, what was your GPA in college when they're looking for a job? They don't even.
Not really.
For some things, they look at where you went to school.
Nowadays, yeah, they don't even always look at where
do you have
went.
a degree? Yes.
Or do
Okay.
you have a degree? Yes. It's
Do you have
so
a degree?
true. I know.
It's so disheartening, and it's so frustrating. Isla's counselor asked us to go look at FIDM, the Fashion Institute for Design Management. I think it is what the M is, marketing or something.
I don't know.
And I was like, I don't want to go. I want to go to a college.
Oh, yes.
I want to live in a dorm and be a college student. And I don't like that. I mean, I understand what the college counselor is offering. She wants to be an interior designer. You don't need a 4-year degree for that. You
Right.
get a 2-year associate's
And this
degree.
is a great program.
and you can go do that.
yeah.
But that's not but that's a limited experience, you know?
She
It's-
wants a campus life.
Well, that's
wants to
a
be a
very
college student.
career focused.
Yes, it's a
Whatever.
vocational focus.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. I am the biggest advocate of
Yeah,
vocational
agreed.
school. But my kid is saying to me,
Yeah.
I want to live in a dorm. I want to have the frat parties to go to. I don't want to join a sorority, but she wants the experience of being in college. And makes me angry, actually, that I have to go through this process with her where Georgia got into every college she applied to. And I'm so afraid that it's going to be really hard for Isla and for the right reasons, but also for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like there has to be some rules or parameter. We have to have some kind of standard of this is you get in if you get this GPA. But it breaks my heart for the kid who,
I know.
if you had an oral conversation with her, you go, oh, she's a 4.0. But when she sits down to take a test, she's a 2.5. And it just sucks.
Welcome to my world. Yeah.
Why? What world is that with you?
Max.
Max is that way? I thought he had great grades.
No. I mean, he didn't get into any schools last year. We had to
No, but he had
reapply.
great grades.
Yeah, but Yeah, but he did. However, he had over a 4.0 and didn't get into anything, and we had to reapply. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
think in some ways that's even harder. Because at least if we're going in with a low GPA, we know we're limited on what we got to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's only so much you can do. You could transfer in.
So scary for these kids.
It's awful.
it is so ridiculous.
And I
hate
think
it.
that's
Like-
what it is for maybe for Lily. Isla's right. It's
Maybe.
just like
I
the
wouldn't be
rejection.
surprised. Yeah.
It's just, the fear
Isla's
of
pretty
rejection.
insightful.
Yeah.
She knows Lily a little bit.
A little
So
bit.
she might have a little insight.
Mm-hmm.
When she said that, I was like, interesting. I think
Where did she think that Kylie would end up?
she thinks Kylie will have no problem whatsoever.
Yes.
She's like, oh, Kylie will go in and she will own the entire school in the first 2 weeks. She thinks Kylie will be Greek also. Will rush a sorority.
She's not into that. She said, I don't care either way. She's looking at him. She's like, I don't really care.
I could see her going either way with it, actually.
She's like,
I could totally see her being in it, and then also to be like, not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the Greek system at the college.
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
Think she should go to University of Alabama? She can go to Greek college. I'm just kidding. I know U of A has an amazing interior design program. And so I was asking the counselor about
UT Austin?
No, University of Alabama.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Roll Tide, which would kill me personally because can't deal with Roll Tide. But
that's a great state school.
Great state school.
Right? I'm assuming a football team, right? She would get that whole
SEC
college
football. It's SEC
experience.
football.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Sorry.
Come
I didn't
on.
know.
Where
Oh
are
my
you?
God,
SEC
oh my God.
football.
It was the green and the red team yesterday, remember?
What? No. That was her. Green and
I
red.
know.
I knew what was going on.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know if that's a possibility for her. And that breaks my heart because they have a great interior design program. And she's so good at that. I mean, she helped me a lot with this studio. And she's designed her dad's tour bus almost entirely by herself. Like literally, I've like laid the samples of shit out and she goes, this one and this one. And I go, oh my God, that is completely right. That completely works. And she's just helped me in so many capacities that I go, well, what a bummer that she can't. Like, you don't want a C student in all your basic classes. Is that what it is? You don't want someone who's like a C in English because she's dyslexic, but excels in this amazing other area where she's really going to excel. It's a bummer. But I mean, we haven't even applied there. So what am I talking about? But that's my projection as to what her path will look like, is that she won't get the opportunity to be in a program. And what's interesting about college, like what I was saying about Lily, is you have 4 classes. For someone like Isla, that's so much more manageable than 7, right?
Yeah.
For her to have 7 classes to keep up with homework and to-do lists and schedules for 7 classes.
That's so interesting.
Overwhelming.
Because Lily is seeing Max, who has 7 classes, both semesters. It's a lot.
He has 7 classes in college?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's a fucking engineering student. I don't know. He has labs and he has like extra recitation and like all of this other
That
shit.
is not what's happening for Georgia.
Yeah. However, he did, he was like, my MMA club meets on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I'm changing this class so that I don't have to be, so I don't miss my Friday MMA class, which I had to miss last semester. Right. So there's a lot of navigation, but his course schedule is very different. It's intense.
Well, engineering
pretty
is one of the
intense.
most intense
Correct. Right. So
programs.
that's what she's seeing.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Oh,
She should talk to Georgia.
She should talk to Georgia.
They had a hammock day. They
Yeah.
brought goats to campus and let them just
Well,
hold
they have that
goats.
too. They have all of that shit, like
No,
especially during finals and whatever, but it is very different.
No.
And
no.
even Max's intense schedule, like he was really funny about it today. This semester, he was like, so I have 3 math classes and something else and something else. I have class from 9 to 3 today. He's like, Mom, how the hell did I get through high school? Like he was really funny about it because like that is literally their life for 12 years. And now after 1 semester, he's like, I can't possibly do 9 to 3 today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think she's really putting 2 and 2 together.
Right.
And I don't think you do until you're actually there on campus and you're like, oh
Right.
shit.
Right. Well, what's
I have
interesting,
6 hours free today, you
totally.
know?
Or like Georgia, Monday through Thursday, she had all Friday
you
off.
have Friday
now,
off.
she ended up studying a lot on Friday.
Yeah, of course.
But
You have
it's
to
at
manage.
it's on her own terms.
Yeah.
She's not accountable
Absolutely.
to a teacher. She doesn't have to be somewhere. She can sleep in
Right.
and study from, 10 to 2.
Yeah.
And then blow
Or you
off
don't
the
have
rest
to
of the
start
day.
your classes until 10 if you like to sleep later. Yeah.
Exactly. And, the thing about having an IEP like Isla, you can have an accommodation written in your IEP where a full load for her is only 3 classes. It takes her a little longer to graduate, but she doesn't she can be a full-time student with 1 less class than other full-time students because of her accommodation. And I go, well, when she's applying, why can't you adjust your thinking about, okay, well, we're taking this kid from 7 classes to 3. What would that look like in her model? If she's a ABC student with 7 classes, what could she be with only 3? If she has the bandwidth, because for her, for some, not all kids, but for some kids with learning disabilities, it's overwhelming just to manage that many different teachers. It's 7 teachers to go to and go, I need extra time on my test. I need extra time on my test. I need extra time on my test. 7 times. Where now you're only doing it 3. That's way better. You know what I mean? It's a more conducive way of working for someone like her who that kind of less is more is very true for Isla. So I hope to God she gets in a school that understands kids with learning differences. She's so smart. Her psychology class this past year, bless her heart, she failed every test. But the teacher right away said, I see you in your accommodations, that oral tests are in your accommodations. But within a private school, it's up to the teacher whether or not they want to do that. So that teacher said, I need you to take the written test, but I want you to come in and take the oral test same day, like on a break or at lunch, and let's see what the difference is. She had an A in the class. She had an A in the class. She made 100 on almost every test, failed every written test. So the teacher's like, you clearly understand what's happening. Your learning disability doesn't allow you to read, process, come up with an answer
And output.
and write it.
Yeah.
That's too many steps. But if I ask you, hey, what is bipolar disorder? You go, oh, it's and it's absolutely correct. But what a shame. Not that she shouldn't be required to write an answer down. That is a skill that you need in life. But as an interior designer, say, is she going to need to write an essay about the room she's designing? I don't think so. I think she'd probably come up with some kind of visual, this is what this looks like, and go from there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, it's been interesting raising a kid with learning disability. I have no learning problems at all. I'm an excellent reader. I've always been a great learner. I loved school. I actually liked homework because it gave me some structure after school. And to have a kid who struggles with just basic things is just so heartbreaking. And it makes me feel really angry that the system can't accommodate her. And how could they? There's 40 kids in a classroom. 1 in every 5 kid has dyslexia. That is a real statistic. 1 in 5. That's a lot of people, right? If you have 40 kids in a classroom, that's 8 people that have some form of dyslexia specifically. And there are all these other learning differences and behavioral problems that how could a teacher really accommodate? But the flip side of it is watching this kid who's so bright, who just fucking, her grades are terrible. Every single report card. It breaks my heart for her because I know she's so bright.
And she works really hard.
She works so hard. She really tries. And all her friends are like, yeah, I'm in like college level statistics. And you're like, you're a junior. You're in the same class as Georgia. What? I don't know. Anyway, we've been talking for a while. Should we wrap up our? Pee. You got to pee? Go pee.
Okay.
I got to pee too. Go pee.
She said she wasn't going to make it through this whole thing.
I have to pee too really bad, but it's a good thing there's a bathroom now in the studio just right here.
I guess, right?
I guess?
I don't know. I don't know. It
just-
might be Park Camel.
You might be part camel.
I don't ever have to.
Maybe you're chronically dehydrated
Maybe.
and your body
I'll
just
just fill it
sucks
up with
all.
alcohol.
I know, right? I know. Well, Bert must be home. He just called.
Oh, he did.
While Sandy's in the potty, we'll call him back really quick.
Right. He landed, right? What time is it? He must be here.
Let's see what he has
He's got to be
say.
so excited to be home.
For 2
It's
days.
been a while.
For 2 days. Can you
No,
hear it,
it's
Austin?
been longer than that.
Yes, I can.
Hey, babe, I'm podcasting.
I love you. Bye.
Oh, I love you too. Bye-bye. Wow, game, respect, game.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
So what happens when I call him, he goes, I'm podcasting. I go, okay, bye. Click. Sorry. Anyway.
Right. But you actually called him back in the middle of your podcast.
I know.
He
which
missed
never
the,
happens.
right.
Well,
exactly.
I feel bad. You know what? The thing is, I'm starting to look at his life a little differently. I think that I'm starting to, I don't know if this happens with like age or maturity or the time we've been together, or how busy his life really is. But I seem to have a lot more compassion. Not that I wasn't always compassionate, but I feel like something shifted and I just went, he's just really busy all the time. And I get the privilege of staying home with my kids and the privilege of seeing my friends whenever I want. And the privilege of having a schedule with a trainer that I can work out with and feel good about taking care of my body. And the privilege of going to the dentist and just getting my teeth cleaned,
Right. At whatever time of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Pee. That was longest pee. I was holding. I should have went when I started. When he said, "You can go pee now," I should have went. I was like, "Oh,
Can always pee.
oh my god."
No, but we should wrap it up because it's 4:30. You guys have been here a long time. We've been here 2 hours.
Oh my God. I know. Crazy.
5 years. Can you believe
This
it?
is why she has to
5
pee.
years?
She chugs an entire liquid
I
death.
know, right?
Yeah, congratulations, by the way. 5 years is a freaking accomplishment. Like, I don't know how the hell you've done it, but that's awesome.
Favorite?
Favorite? Always. Always Sandy Cathy. Always. I actually love when my kids come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The reason I started this podcast is because I feel, I'm going to get emotional. I feel so lucky to have learned what I've learned in life. I shouldn't be this person, right? But I am. And I'm so grateful.
Why do you think you shouldn't be this person, though?
Because, I think about this a lot. Okay, put it this way. I feel like if I had a sibling, they'd be way off in the ditch. But for whatever reason, my genetic makeup, my will, my tenacity, my personality, my whatever, the combination of the genetics that is me, made me just want to understand why I wasn't happy at a young age, right? Why I was no hair, enlarged liver, drinking all the time. Why I was so often addicted. There was some part of me that needed to be happy. And I don't think that is true for everybody. I think everybody wants to be happy, but not everybody has the tenacity that it takes to really go, I'm going to upend everything and learn a new way, right? Because that's what I had to do. I had to upend everything. I had to upend everything I learned from my mom and to an extent, everything I learned from my dad. My dad's a wonderful person and was a really great dad. And at the same time, he was very limited in his own way of how much happiness he got from his own life. He's a happy guy. He's always been a happy guy. But I didn't want to be divorced. I didn't want to be in a broken relationship over and over again. I didn't want to feel trodden on and unfulfilled. And I didn't want to repeat the cycle of my mom, which I grew up in, which was repeated from her parents. And so one of the reasons I started this podcast is I find myself in this place in life where I have these amazing people in my life, like the two of you. Like, I love Jeannie Turbo. I love all my friends. Everybody that's been a guest on this podcast, I actually cherish I really am so grateful because I don't know, growing up an only child is hard. It sucks. And as an adult, I have in-laws, but that's not my family. You know, that's my in-laws, and you're not my family either, but you are my family. And I just feel so lucky to have all of these friends who seem to accept each other as exactly who they are.
Just a community.
It's a community.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of it. That the reason I started.
I think that's why you didn't want to move away. You didn't want to go to Austin.
Not going anywhere because of this community, not just you.
No, I know. It's all of it.
It's all of it because this is all I ever wanted in my whole life was to feel a part of something.
Yes.
And I was shuffled around from here to there and here to there. And I always had that family with my dad's family. But I don't belong in Bowden, Georgia. I love Bowden, Georgia, but I don't belong there. I saw too much outside of there to stay there. It would never have held me. I would never been happy there. So I feel like I recreated what I needed here with all these people that I feel like I really see everybody as who they are, and I feel seen. And I feel like part of what's missing in the world in general is that, right? So when you grow up going to Sunday on the grounds at church, everybody just is who they are. And it's Sunday, the drunk guy shows up and you love them anyway. And in the community, in the world today, I don't think there's enough of that community.
Right.
So I didn't really start my podcast for all the reasons that people might
Just a connection.
think.
You just wanted a connection.
I want to share the connection. It's not just about the connection for me, it's to share it. Because that connection with a group of people is so healing. It's really healing to feel like you belong to something.
Right.
So when I was coming home from Tempe and this guy was behind me in line, a guy, and he stopped me and he goes, I have to tell you, I'm a really big fan of your podcast. I don't miss Wife of the Party ever. I'm a sports journalist. And I went, a sports journalist is watching me talk to two of my closest friends about who knows what we've talked about for the past 2 hours, but he feels connected, right? And I think that's so powerful.
They can relate. Yeah. A lot of people can relate.
And we're just regular people. You know, I think we're pretty regular and extraordinary at the same time. And why can't it inspire somebody else to be regular and extraordinary at the same time? You can be both. I'm a really regular person. I buy my own groceries. I clean my own house. One guy cleans my house 1 day a week. The rest of the time, I do it. You know? And I don't know. I just feel like I feel so lucky to have had these 5 years to talk to people about all different kinds of things in hopes that other people listening can learn and feel connected and feel part of something, even though it's just my small little world. Because I feel like a lack of connection leads to sadness.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, here's to real
I was going to say,
connection.
here's
to real connection.
And the next 5 years.
I know, right?
Cheers.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you for being amazing
Yes.
human beings. Could my phone ring more? It's all spam shit too.
And so you guys got me to
congrats.
drink again. So
I know, right?
It was really hard.
really hard to get you off the wagon for the last 12 hours. by
it's
the way.
Monday, guys.
That's okay. That's how we roll.
It has to happen on Monday. We're about to be empty nesters. Fucking Monday's going to happen every day.
It's going to be all day, every day.
So get your liver in shape, sister.
I didn't drink all week last week.
That's good.
Till Monday to Friday. Wait,
Monday, the weekdays.
Monday.
Right. I was like, that's only 5 days of the week, by the way.
Monday,
Monday,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, Monday, Wednesday. No, maybe just Monday, Tuesday.
Maybe just Monday.
Maybe just Monday.
Monday to Thursday.
So now you're in a deficit because you're drinking on Monday already.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
Now.
we totally
So
screwed
now
you.
I'm going to just do
Right.
Tuesday to Friday.
What about Saturday?
It's a mind game, guys.
It's like dice.
It's
the cup game with the nut under the
Yeah,
cup.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thanks guys for doing today. I appreciate it.
you.
Thanks for being my
Congrats.
first podcast.
Well,
in my new studio.
congratulations again.
Thank you. I'm very
On this
proud
new
of it.
studio, on 5 years,
should
on
be.
all of it.
I
You
am
should be
proud of it. It's my little my heart project, my passion project. That's what it's called.
It's a good project.
I love it. I love
you.
talking to people. I just had comedians on, like 3 back to back, or 2 comedians and a comedian's wife. I learned so much, and I didn't even know those ladies till they showed up. And I feel like that's so fun to just learn something about another person. I fucking love it, because we all have a story,
Yeah.
and we all have something to give. You know, everybody, even if you don't think you do, you do. That's the key, right? We're all valuable to some extent, some more than others. I'm not sure how valuable Bert is. I'm just kidding. He's very valuable.
Is he back?
He's back. Okay. Thank you guys.
All right. Thank you.